And Israel has announced that they have recovered the body of a hostage from Gaza.
The Israeli military has also released details of the deaths of 6 other hostages. Now, the IDF has said that the body of Itay Svirsky has been brought back in a special operation,
Adding that he was taken hostage on the 7th of October last year and then killed in Hamas captivity.
Now, on the same day, the IDF has also shared investigation findings on the deaths of 6 Gaza hostages in February. Their deaths have been linked to an Israeli airstrike on a tunnel in Khan Yunis. The 6 bodies were recovered in August, sparking anger among their families who asked for answers regarding the circumstances of their death.
Earlier, the army said in a statement that at the time of the strike, they had no information that the hostages were in the underground compound. Now, IDF spokesperson has said that the most likely possibility, according to them, is that the terrorists murdered the hostages.
The inquiry investigated the reasons behind the death of the hostages and raised a number of possibilities. The possibility we think is the likeliest is that due to the strike, the terrorists murdered the hostages and the terrorists themselves were killed as a result of the IDF strike.
As Israel's investigation into the hostages continued, Gazans were seen fleeing from Beit Lahiya. The evacuation orders came as Israel heavily bombarded the northern town as part of an intensive 2-month operation. Residents in 3 towns, Jabalia, Beit Lahiya and Beit Hanun, said that Israeli forces had blown up dozens of houses. Palestinians say Israel's army is trying to drive people out of the northern edge of Gaza with forced evacuations and bombardments to create a buffer zone.
As thousands fled the north, Israeli strikes continued in southern Gaza as well. Gazan officials have said at least 21 people were killed in a displacement camp in Khan Yunis. Dozens were left injured. Earlier strikes on central Gaza killed 8 people, including 4 children. As Gazans remain beset by strikes all along the strip, about 100 Israeli hostages still remain inside Gaza. At least a third of them are believed to be dead.
Defense Minister Israel Katz has said that Israel has pressured Hamas to the extent that a hostage deal is now possible.
I think that thanks to the intense activity, of which you are a central part, both the deterrence of Iran and what is happening in Lebanon and everywhere, the intensity of the pressure on this monstrous organization called Hamas is increasing, and there is a chance that this time we will really be able to advance a hostage deal, and we are working on this matter and see this goal before our eyes.
Meanwhile, the United Nations General Assembly resumed the 10th emergency special session to discuss the crisis. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from UN headquarters, New York.
On Wednesday, the United Nations General Assembly resumed its 10th emergency special session to address the, quote, illegal Israeli actions in occupied East Jerusalem and the rest of the occupied Palestinian territory. Member states engaged in heated debates revealing the sharp division over the situation in the Middle East region. Delegates focused on the humanitarian consequences of the ongoing violence and alleged violation of international rules and regulations, and the expansion of settlements in East Jerusalem and other occupied areas, of course. Now, ultimately, these discussions really highlight deep disagreements among member states over the best approach to move forward and put an end to these, quote, illegal settlements and the violence that's going on in the region. And ultimately, if they do come up with a resolution, that resolution at the General Assembly will be non-binding. It is not like Security Council resolutions where there is an enforcement mechanism. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION This One.